paradise, amazing beaches, beautiful sunsets. These are the things that they show you guys online. Now, I'm going to talk about the facts instead of the fiction, right? So, the fiction is some of that stuff, right? It's not completely like that. It's not. Okay. The facts is it can be tough. And I'm going to tell you the tough things that you're going to have to deal with. And I'm going to tell you about what I call an island mindset. Four things to have an island mindset. Okay. First, patience. Today, I was at a local food place. It's a little food stand. It's called Angels. And I just wanted to get me a ham and cheese sandwich. There was about 8 people there. It was like crazy hot out there. The sun was out shining bright and no shade. And I'm right there in front of the stand looking at those 8 people, and I'm looking at the worker. He's burning up. He's hot. He's getting paid very, very small, like probably $7, $8 an hour or something like that. I mean, not an hour, for the whole day. Yeah, for like $7, $8 for the whole entire day of working. And here's the thing: money is a motivator, right? So that might be why he's not in a mood to go too fast. He doesn't really have that motivation to making much money there. And it's so hot out there. So hot makes you tired too. And he's there cooking over a grill and everything. So sometimes you just got to be patient, right? And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to take a while to serve those other 8 people. I look over there and I look at how much food he's got on the grill, and how fast it might take. And then I look over to the side over on the corner, and I see this nice shady area. So I decide I can go over there to the shady area, and I can still see I can still see all the customers, and then walk over whenever it gets closer to me being served. I'd already put in my order. So basically, I'm telling you guys, don't get angry, don't get mad, don't freak out, don't go crazy. Relax. One of my favorite sayings is no worries. And just use that. No worries, man. And that's what I did. No worries. I went over in the shade. I enjoyed the shady area. And it took a while. And I was just patient. Second, okay, after patience is adaptability. All right. So being over here, something that's going to take you a long ways, is going to help you out tremendously, is if you adapt, if you get used to the local cuisine, try the food, try a lot of the food, eat the street food, eat meals like adobo, menudo, tinola, those kind of things, and you'll be surprised. You know, if it's cooked right and everything, it can be absolutely delicious. Crispy pata, I love that. Crispy pata and tinola, it's my favorite. Also, if you learn the Tagalog, if you learn the language and you learn the culture here, the culture is big because the culture is hugely different than over in the US. It's very, very different. And you don't want to be stuck out here not understanding things like I was. You don't want to be stuck out here not realizing things. You want to understand understand the way of life here in the Philippines lifestyle. You want to understand this, trust me. And the language, they will really appreciate it if you understand the language. Sometimes there is a problem, I mean, they speak English out here, but sometimes they just have a hard time understanding. And they absolutely love it if you can speak the language. So adaptability is strong. And the third thing is emotional resilience. Okay. You got to be tough, guys. You got to be tough. Um, you don't have your friends, you don't have your family over here. And the thing is, if you adapt, though, like I was just talking about, you can find plenty of locals to be friends with you. They're very friendly, very wonderful people over here. Okay. Um, but for that emotional resilience, okay, tell you a story. Basically, when I came over, I came for this one girl. I was going to be with her forever. And she winded up stranded me. She left me, walked out on me, and I had no idea what to do. And so, what I did do is I took a deep breath and I made a new plan, and basically to be with someone else. And here's the thing: you got to be your own friend. I mean, you got to truly be a friend to yourself. Okay, and don't give yourself a hard time. You know, if you can do that and make yourself stronger and have the confidence and so forth, that's going to help you. And also have a support team as well. Have some people. That's what I did. I did have people. I will say that. Before I came over, I'd already made friends with some people here in the Philippines. So when I was going through the hard time, whenever she walked out on me and left me, I was able to talk to them and get help. And basically, whenever I started dating other people, I would contact them and they would help me with understanding different culture things. You know, just different the way things are, the way things are different here, that kind of thing. So that support system goes a long ways as well. And after that is, let's see, backup plans. Okay, so whenever she walked out on me, I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't really know much at all about the culture. I was just dumbfounded, you know. But anyway, um, you should have a backup plan. Okay, so when you're here, you're going to go through things like in the province area, in the rural areas, here on the islands, you're going to go through things like losing electricity. That's called brownouts. If you have a generator, that's your solution. Okay, you can so you lose power, you got a generator, you can have power backups. That's going to help you out. Also, you're going to have a lot of problems with internet normally, unless you have this, which is the solution: Starlink. If you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you just can't get internet, well, Starlink it's probably gonna get you the internet you need. So there you go, Starlink and the power backups and the generator. Okay. Also, infrastructure. Now, those things tend to be not a big issue when you're in the big hubs like Manila and Cebu and Davao City. Um, you probably, you know, I wouldn't worry much about your internet. I wouldn't worry much about your electricity because you should be very good in those areas. Very good, if not perfect. So anyway, and nothing's perfect. So I'm not going to say you're perfect, but you're going to be close. Um, so other things, the what was I talking about? I don't forgot. Backup plans. Uh, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, have backup plans for different things. Oh, the infrastructure. I forgot about that. Yeah. Infrastructure. I took a trip. It was from Manila, and I went all the way down to Samar. It was on a bus. It was rough roads, curvy roads, and tough roads. And I mean, it was very, very horrific. The thing was, it took about 18 hours, if I remember correctly. I believe it was about 18 hours. And and we got to the port and we had to wait a long time. So an, another idea, another backup plan would be a different method of transportation. Maybe you could rent a car, do that. Maybe you could get a personal driver that has a nice, comfortable car you can go in, um, or maybe you can even fly. Depending on where you're going to and all that kind of thing. So look at different methods of transportation is your solution for the infrastructure here. Now, one more thing is healthcare. In the province areas, the rural areas, it can be a lot tougher on healthcare, having good quality healthcare than over in the city areas like Davao City and Manila and Cebu. So remember that as well, because a lot of those young guys that are out there in the islands and they're acting like, oh, this is such a wonderful place and great place. They don't really bring that up. They don't really think about it. They don't really talk about it. And maybe one of the reasons they don't think about it is because they're not very old. They're thinking, oh, I can live forever and don't have to worry about medical stuff. So, and as far as learning about culture and the language, even, and the food here, I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds of videos that could help you with that. So feel free to check out my playlist, and you can find playlist on that information. Thank you guys for watching. And if you don't mind, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what you think about what we discussed today. Peace out.